Federal and some state government offices will be closed today in honor of the country's newest national holiday, Juneteenth. U.S. Washington correspondent Jesse Tenor is joining us live with how this federal holiday actually became a national holiday. This is impressive. Tell us more.
Yeah, good morning, Sharon. This is actually the first new federal holiday since Martin Luther King Jr. Day in 1983. And some of the people that were very instrumental in making this happen say that it's really the one that many Americans know very little about.
All right.
President Joe Biden made Juneteenth a national holiday in a place enslaved people built.
We have come far, and we have far to go.
Vice President Kamala Harris told a crowd at the White House federal holidays like this force Americans to stop and acknowledge their collective history, one many may still not know about.
We need to learn to communicate with each other. Juneteenth came about because of a lack of communication.
South Carolina Congressman Jim Clyburn noted Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation freed slaves in southern states in 1863. But that news didn't get to Texas until June 19th, 1865.
And they claimed their freedom. It was indeed an important day.
Harris stressed that still wasn't the end of slavery. It would be 6 more months before the 13th Amendment was ratified.
We can't rest till the promise of equality is fulfilled for every one of us.
President Biden praised the broad bipartisan support for Juneteenth National Independence Day. The Senate approved the bill unanimously, and only 14 House Republicans, many representing former Confederate states, opposed the measure for the use of independence in the holiday's name.
I hope this is the beginning of a change in the way we deal with one another.
And many across the country will use this holiday as a day of action, including Vice President Harris. She's going to be traveling to Atlanta today to have conversations about racial equity when it comes to COVID-19 vaccinations and voting rights. Live in Washington, I'm Jesse Tenor.
Jesse, real quick before you go, being that I'm a Texas native, I've been celebrating Juneteenth since I was knee-high to a grasshopper, as some people would say, since a kid, and a lot of us have. So it's really exciting to see this now a federal holiday. But we all saw the president bend one knee to Opal Lee, the one woman who actually started this. What was it like in that room to see him do that and to honor her for actually making sure that this happened?
Yeah, that was definitely a moment that was probably a long time coming for her, at least, hoping. And then so many other people in the crowd, you could just see exactly what that meant to them and kind of that it was really a long time coming. And I know that Vice President Harris, she commented too that was a really big deal for the president to go over there and do that for her. And they had mentioned that, her family, she has been doing this and even like walking tons of miles to make a point that this should happen. So definitely a momentous occasion for so many people, definitely including her and many of those in the crowd.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing that with us as well. And fabulous job as always telling us more about this incredible national holiday. And once again, Jesse Tenor reporting live for us from Washington, D.C. Thanks again. All right, now we have other news to talk about as well. Carnival now admitting that a data breach in March might have exposed personal information about customers and employees on Carnival Cruise Line, Holland America Line, and Princess Cruises. Now, in a letter to its customers, the company indicated that outsiders might have actually gained access to social security numbers, passport numbers, dates of birth, addresses, and even health information of people. But there's no indication that personal information exposed in those attacks was misused. The company declined to say just how many people's information was exposed or if they paid a ransom. But this latest breach comes after Carnival has already been hit twice just last year by ransomware attacks. Well, scientists have found a dead Asian giant hornet north of Seattle. This is the first so-called murder hornet discovered in the U.S. this year. This hornet appears to be unrelated to the 2019-2020 findings of the hornets in Canada. And of course, that gained widespread attention around the world. The invasive insects pose a threat to honeybees and even native hornet species. They're not typically aggressive toward humans, but their sting is extremely painful.
Murder hornet is what is most commonly associated with the Asian giant hornet. The killer hornet, again, just another term for this hornet. But really, the important thing to remember is that it's not killing people. It's not murdering people. This is really about killing honeybees.
And we do need their honey, so they're watching this closely. The USDA has placed the giant hornets on the list of quarantine pests, giving Washington state more tools to help eradicate this invasive species. All right.